Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, driving home after a good day of work. Last night, Monday Night Raw. Man, this show honestly just keeps on getting better and better. I'm not quite sure how many Raws have been on Netflix, but it is my current streak, my Cal Ripken Iron Man streak of watching Raws live. No fast forwarding, no commercial skipping, no TiVoing. It has been a long time for me that I have watched this many Raws in a row. I used to celebrate watching one Raw all the way through and making it. But I thought that when Raw went 2 hours on USA, I really thought I was going to get back into watching wrestling. It lasted for a few weeks, but right now, I mean, it is all paying off, and they are really just hitting hundreds. This 2.5 hours is like the sweet spot for wrestling. But we have our first match announced, signed, sealed, and delivered for WrestleMania 41. We got our Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso, going up against our World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso. Who would have thought? I mean, the year that this guy really has had. I mean, if you go back to last year, you know, him breaking off of the bloodline, that's when the whole Yeet universe started. It was big last year, but it is not as big as it was now. I mean, right now, it is just huge. When I was watching Raw last night, I honestly thought that they called on the fly an audible for the Yeetathon to just keep yeeting. And when he looked into the camera and he was like, run it again, I thought that was just him feeling the atmosphere and just being like, I don't know what you got to bump off the show, but anything is going to be bigger than this. But instead, Gunther came out from the crowd, black sweatshirt. He launched that sweatshirt right into the crowd, and it took out a girl in the face. It was, I'm sure he meant to like fiercely throw that sweatshirt off to show that he meant business. But I don't think he thought he would be throwing it right into some girl's face. She ate that thing. Watch it in slow-mo. But our first match, signed, sealed, and delivered. Jey Uso versus Gunther, WrestleMania 41. This is a big match. This match is really, really big. I think that Jey Uso has a chance to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I think he's going to take Gunther down. Gunther is going to take a fall at WrestleMania yet once again. I also think that on Monday Night Raw, I think that Jey Uso is going to be like one of the main stars, probably kicking off the show like he has with that championship. Everybody getting their yeet on at the T-Bone Bowl Arena. But I also think that if it has to be like after the main event, I see him wrestling in it. If it's a dark match in order to get some guys out there, I can see him being like the main guy who thanks the crowd, sends everybody home happy. Cody did it after WrestleMania 38. Daniel Bryan did it after WrestleMania 28. Just like it's normally like the new most over star that is going to get the biggest reaction, saying thank you to all the fans that came from all over the globe. Thank the people that live in that city, that invited all of those wrestling fans in to take it over. You got to be thinking that there's a lot of people who live in Las Vegas that normally go to Raw or SmackDown when they're there, when they go to the pay-per-views. I remember they got Money in the Bank at T-Mobile Arena a couple of years ago. They had SummerSlam there. That was a really big show that people normally travel to. But people that normally are used to getting like really good floor seats are sitting like in the 2s and 300s because there's people coming from freaking, the other side of the country, the other side of the globe, just taking that damn thing over. We're in a little bit of a sticky situation. I still think in wrestling terms of what it was like 10 years ago. when the pay-per-views were a solid 3 hours, and every belt had to be defended. In my mind, I'm kind of like, well, they've already announced it's going to be Gunther versus Jey Uso for the championship, but they still have the Elimination Chamber coming up. But in this world, especially with them kind of copying AEW and putting like, what was it, 2 new titles on the show with the mid-card women's Intercontinental and United States titles, there's so many titles that not every single one can be defended on each and every pay-per-view. They don't even really put matches on the pre-shows, I noticed, which is bizarre because those damn pre-shows are 2 hours long. And unless you announce that there's going to be some sort of a match, an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, there's no way I'm showing up to a pre-show. But then again, you got to be thinking about all those people that are going to be traveling down the street from the T-Mobile Arena with the NXT show ending a half hour before WrestleMania is set to begin. You got to be thinking that they don't want them to miss anything, but I'm sure Sam Roberts and Rosenberg are going to be out in the parking lot, in front of the stadium, welcoming fans and saying, thank you, who do you think's going to win, recapping all the big matches. I'll turn a pre-show on, but there's a pre-show that goes on a little bit too long every once in a while. That's not the biggest show that I'm not, totally stacked for, that I only want to really see the main event. But they're more than likely not going to have Gunther defend at Elimination Chamber. I don't even think Gunther will have a really big match. Maybe, to hype it up, you can do Gunther versus Jey Uso on an episode of Raw or SmackDown to sort of get you there. But I don't see anybody getting in the way of Gunther, where they're having to, hype the storyline that, now if Sami Zayn defeats Gunther like he did at WrestleMania last year, he'll now defend the World Heavyweight Championship against, Jey Uso at WrestleMania. I just don't think that's the way that they're going to do it. So you got to be thinking, how are they going to be able to keep this match fresh, especially trying to keep Jey Uso as over as he is now. I mean, I'm checking daily to see when the new orange merch will go on sale, to see if I can get it any cheaper. Worst comes to worst, I'll just buy it at the WrestleMania Superstore if they don't get a good 25 to 35% off sale. I've seen them put the pink glasses back up, which has me ecstatic. But I bought the blue Ulafala, so I don't know, blue Ulafala, pink shirt, pink glasses. I don't really know how that's going to go over, but we'll see. But our first match for WrestleMania, we got Jey Uso going up against Gunther. Early prediction, no doubt in my mind, I would, walk up to the sports book at MGM Grand or any other sports book if they took wrestling bets the week of WrestleMania, and I would bet the house on Jey Uso to win. I don't think there's any world that he loses. I know that some people are going to be thinking, like, what if Gunther to keep the feud going a little bit longer to make sure he doesn't lose at WrestleMania again? What if he takes a disqualification? I don't know. I immediately think championship matches that end in disqualification at WrestleMania. I think of Nakamura going up against AJ Styles, and that fell so flat. I'm pretty sure that's when Nakamura turned heel at WrestleMania, and that kind of shit has a place in wrestling for Backlash or SmackDown. Just don't do it on the WrestleMania stage. There are places where heel turns, like Triple H turning on Kane, that made sense when he joined the corporation. That match got thrown out. It wasn't a championship match. It was just a singles match along the way. Oh, and then also, he didn't turn on Kane. He turned on X-Pac. That's what it was. That's when DX broke up at WrestleMania, when he came out making it look like he was going to help him, and then he just, like, burned him. That's what it was. But, you know, that shit works. But not in your, you know, World Heavyweight Championship matches that you're looking for a moment that you're going to hold on to and be like, damn, I'm glad that I went to Vegas to see that. But as of right now, I don't want to say that Jey Uso is my favorite wrestler. I think he is one of the most over wrestlers on the roster currently today. But I'm excited that I'm going. I tweet my buddy Mike Yeet all the time. He tweets me back, no Yeet. He's not for it. But I am. Let's go.